YouTube, today I got a treat. I've been asked to do a pork butt. We're going to go ahead and get started on this pork butt. Actually, let me get my other glove on. This is about a 10-pound pork butt. I got a double pack from my local restaurant store here where I live in Texas. Not doing anything to the fat cap. I see people taking it off, that's fine. I'm going to leave mine on. This will be pulled pork, not sliced pork. And it's going for an event I've been asked to cook this for. We're going to get it over on the bottom side. That fat cap side will be our presentation side. So today I'm feeling like Sriracha. And I think that's what we're going to use. Why? Because it's going to help our rub stick. Sriracha. I've used it before. I like it. I like it on my regular food. Anything that I've cooked smells delicious. Gonna rub that in. Meat was a bit already tacky because I just took it out the cryo vac. I'm doing this out of habit, guys. Get it rubbed in, and we're gonna get it flipped over again, so we can rub down that presentation side. Love the smell of Sriracha in the morning. Get it in there. It smells good. If you didn't know, Sriracha is one of my favorite condiments, hence the reason I'm using it. I've used mustard, I've used water, I've used mustard and a mixture of pickle juice. Sriracha, the process, the fermentation of those red chili peppers. That's where you get all that smoke from. It smells absolutely delicious. I like it. I like the heat it provides. I like the flavor it provides. Alright, now we're going to go in. So, I'm going to use some kosher salt today. I'm going to use some restaurant cut black pepper. I'll be using my season oil. Of course, we're going to make an appearance with this. And that's about it. So first, I think we're going to go in with some pepper first. Nice even layering of pepper. Now, this pulled pork will be re-seasoned once it is pulled. More than likely placed into a crock pot. The event is later this week, so this will be stored after it's cooked. And I go on with the smaller grain of black pepper. Okay, and we're gonna go with some kosher salt. Put that on there, and then the season oil, our seasoned salt. We're going to do this to the rest of the sides, and we're going to have us a nicely seasoned pork butt. Let's get this pork butt stood up. I guess I could have been doing the sides, I didn't, but just follow me. Just follow me. No rhyme or reason. Got some time, took the day off, so I'm going to make the most of it. I'm cooking a pork butt. I'm probably going to throw in some pork steaks. That's what the actual video is going to be about. But I figured since we're doing this, might as well try to get a video out of the pork butt too. It's been a minute since I've done a pork butt. Okay, happy with that. Pat it in. Kosher salt. My box has a leak, guys. That's what you see. Good for me. I'll pat that in, make sure it's stuck. You can see this meat is tacky, it's moist. All this rub is sticking on, that's what you want. In the end, I'm looking to bark this up like I am anything else that I do. Alright, now we're going to go to the next side. Take a little bit, but we'll get there. It's that money muscle looking beautiful. Let's see, can you see that? Can you see that money muscle? Looking pretty nice. black pepper. That's that 16 mesh. Restaurant cut pepper. Kosher salt. Make sure it's getting attached, and it is on there. It's not going anywhere. And then seasoned salt. Do this all around the entirety of the pork butt. Now, I could have did this last night in an effort to make sure that the inside of the meat is seasoned or salted at least. I didn't. So, I mean, I like to re-season my pulled pork anyway in the process of pulling. So not too stressed about it. We're keeping this simple. Real simple. Nice and simple. Alright. Last side before that presentation side, we're going to get at it. Nothing different. That Sriracha still smells pretty good. This is all in the effort to build a bark, guys. Stay tuned. Stick with me. It's a big piece of meat. Don't skimp on the seasoning. Pat it on there. Now we're going to get it over to this side. Everything else is looking good. Let's go ahead and close this pup out before we get it on the smoker. A lot of pepper, as you can tell. I want this to be barked up. Pepper is the reason for that. And this is 10 pounds of meat here, guys. And to finish it off, there you have it. It's looking real good. This is going to set to the side while I get a fire started. I actually got some pork steaks, but that'll be a second video. I'll go ahead and get them here seasoned shortly. More than likely won't deviate. I'll stick with the same seasoning, and we're going to go from there. Stay tuned. Alright, let's see where we're at. We're holding right now about between 250 and 275. Let's see how we're looking. I don't expect this pork butt to have much color on it. It's got more than I've been expecting. That mahogany coming in. I have been spritzing. I started spritzing at an hour or two. We are right at about approaching 4 hours. Like the way these pork steaks are looking. They got some color on them. I'm going to let them go probably for another hour more before I even consider temping or placing them in foil, maybe with some butter. And then we're going to go from there. I want to make sure these get absolutely tender. Still got some toughness to them. But I moved them closer to the firebox in an effort to go ahead and get that fat rendered a bit quicker. Stay tuned. Alright, let's check out what this pork butt is doing. As you can see, we're holding about 250 there. We're going on about 7 hours. Alright, so we see we got some fat splitting. That's good. I know it's tender. I know that fat is rendering. It's pillowy soft, right? Tastes delicious. I'm going to let this go for another hour or two before even thinking about wrapping. I like where our bark is. I feel this side can get a little bit more barkiness. While we're here, let's get some spritz on that. You know, currently I'm just spritzing with the water. I did have remnants of some Italian dressing in there. I am spritzing the fat. Alright. See that fat is rendering. No problem rendering. Alright. Stay tuned. I'll bring you guys back when I'm getting ready to wrap. YouTube, we back. Here's that 10-pound pork butt. Haven't done anything else to it. Just pulled it off the smoker. Might end up putting this in my oven because it's been on for the past 10 hours. And it's not going to pick up any more smoke. I like the bark. You can also see that we got some splitting going on. This is one way to tell when you're ready to wrap, if you're going to wrap. I like the bark that we have. My bark is set. So any wrapping I do, and look how pillowy soft that fat is. So I know this is still about 170 internally. I'm going to put it in my oven at probably 250 for the next, 3-4 hours until this is probes 203 to 205, and then I'm going to pull it out, let it cool completely, and then put it in my fridge. And this will be for later on in the week, an event that I've been asked to do this for. So let's go ahead and start wrapping. Nothing too hard about it. I'm wrapping double there because I know this thing is still going to render some juices. What I don't want it to do is render all over my oven. Like this. There, wrap it. That side down. Not that it really matters. Make sure it's tight. You don't want no steaming. You want it to finish out. I can tell it's still really hot. Something about like that. Really want this to go until it's probing, like butter, probe tender. Alright, that's what we're looking like. Thing's tight. Probably gonna fit this in my restaurant pan, cover that up with some more aluminum foil, and then get it into my oven till it's done. Stay tuned. Alright, YouTube, we back. Here's my finished product. This is that 10-pound pork butt. So let's recap what we did before I start turning into this and shred it. I had a double pack of, I believe it was like 22 pounds worth of pork butt. It was 2. Took it out, did a bit of trimming to it, not much, left the fat cap on, really didn't do anything to it. I seasoned it with black pepper, 16 mesh and restaurant style kosher salt, and seasonal, which is a different variation of seasoned salt. I then started a fire on my Old Country Wrangler, and then I put this on. This smoked on that smoker for right at 10 hours. I then took it off, wrapped it, and then I threw it into my oven to complete. After it was complete, I think it was like 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, I took it out. Got some of the heat off of it, let some of the steam evaporate, then wrapped it back up, and it's been in my fridge. This afternoon when I got home, I put it in my oven for another 2 hours, if that, at 250 just to warm it back through, and it is warm. But let me show you how tender this is. And it was tender this way yesterday, right? So that fat just gives. I'm not going to use all this fat into my shredded pork. However, I'm going to use the majority of it. And then I'll reseason here shortly. Let me get a crock pot, because this is what she's going to be serving it in tomorrow. And here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and get into this. Let's see if I can save some of this fat cap, because you can see it's rendered through. I don't mind some of this, right? Because this also is what's going to help keep the pork nice and juicy. Got that false fat cap under there, and all this pork spaghetti, usually what it's called, because it looks like spaghetti noodles, spaghetti strands. Now Look at that. Look how it just shreds and it's still moist. That's what you want. I'm gonna get it in here, then I'll do a better job of shredding it. Okay. Still pretty hot. I'll let this come to again and then place this in the fridge. But first, let's get it pulled. The key to great pulled pork is getting that bark, you know, distributed throughout the entirety of this pulled pork butt. Every bite you want to have some of that bark in there, right? So this is coming. We're moving pretty fast. This is going faster than I thought it was. And this pork butt kind of shrunk down. I know there's going to be some loss with every cook. It just comes off that bone. Comes off that bone. My English bulldog's over there going crazy. You probably can hear him breathing on the camera. He's all eyes on me right now. Alright, so that's about it. I'm going to take some of this. I don't mind because this just comes apart now. So I have to take it and squeeze it and put it back in and just add some body to our pulled pork as well. Actually, I'm going to go in with all of it. I don't mind the fat. I actually like the fat after it's been rendered. So now, let's scoot this board out of the way. Now I go in here with my hands and start tearing a lot of this apart. I don't mind chunky pieces. However, she's making nachos and sandwiches with these. She's doing a fundraiser at her job. I want to make sure they have the best product as possible. No sauce, right? It doesn't really need it. If you smelt this right now, I think you would be in shock and awe. Smells pretty delicious, and I've eaten already, but I'm definitely thinking about getting me a few spoonfuls of this. Again, the key is to get some of that bark into every bite. You'll see when I get a few pieces, I will shred it. Make sure we are distributed throughout this crock pot. Smelling good, looking good. It's not dry, I'll tell you that. And I'm going to go in here. I got some juice left over in the, the pork fat. Some of it's left over in the restaurant pan in which I had this in the oven. I'm definitely going to go back in and use that juice in here as well. See these big pieces? I'm going to give a good ripping too. I think that's going to be about it, guys. If you haven't done so and you've made it this far, please go ahead and like, share, comment, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate all the support I've been getting here as of late. And I've got more videos to come. The past few weeks I've been traveling with the family. We did a Cancun trip. That was excellent. Came on back. Got a few other trips to go on before the year ends. I think that's all I'm going to do to this, guys. Let me get this juice. Now I'm definitely going to put that back in here. Let's go. Let's see. Definitely going back in with that. There's a few other pieces in here too. I don't want to miss nothing. Other than that, I'll give it a little taste here for re-seasoning. And then we're going to call it a night, guys. Let's see what we got. Looks something like that. It is moist. Smoky. Their bark is phenomenal. Might hit it with a little bit seasoned salt. Black pepper, that's going to be about it, though. I think that's going to be about it. Go ahead and get my gloves off. Again, if you haven't done so, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is B Smokehouse. This is some delicious pulled pork. Real simple recipe, easy to do. Until next time, be Smokehouse out.
You doing okay?